Welcome back to Mike's Nerd Cave. So today we've got something I know we've all been waiting for. The new consoles are out. Instead of getting into like a big unboxing of both of them and really going through everything, I think everyone else has kind of done that enough on YouTube. I just wanted to get going with this one. I will say though, the Xbox unboxing was a little special. It was presented in a way almost like an Apple product would be, where it feels like an event as you open the box. It presents itself to you. I did think that was a nice touch, but either way, that doesn't change how they perform at the end of the day. So when it came to getting them out of the box, turned on and set up, the Xbox stood out here just the tiniest bit for me again, and only for one reason. The controller was pre-paired with the system, which meant all I had to do was throw the batteries in and hit that Xbox button on top of the controller, and we were off to the races. The PlayStation controller comes with a relatively short cord. It has to be plugged into the system through a bunch of the setup and updates until the controller itself gets its firmware update. Then you can unplug it and use it wirelessly. And this isn't really a big deal. I just noticed, comparing both of them, that was just one little touch that made the Xbox feel a little more comfortable. But getting past that, both UIs for the systems are great. With the Xbox, scrolling down through, I've always felt like everything I was looking for was right in front of me. Part of it was probably just a familiarity thing. The PlayStation, just its linear setup, for some reason I didn't like. And this went back to like the PS3 days when it was very simple and bare bones. I think the PS4 did it pretty well. I just personally didn't own one. So it was always like a little bit of a getting used to thing when I'd hop on someone else's console. The PS5 though took what the PS4 did right and really streamlined it. And I think the thing that stood out to me with this UI is just how snappy it felt, and also how mature it feels with the new coat of paint. That like black, white, and gold almost that you're first greeted with when you get logged in is really cool. Okay, so we talked about the first impressions on just getting the system turned on, set up, and checking out their UIs. What we really want to do is get some games on there. For both of these systems, that probably means you gotta start downloading once you get it turned on. You can't start playing right away. That is unless you got the PS5, because it comes preloaded with Astro's Playroom, which I found to be a really fun little platformer. It's great to have a game like this that not only plays great and is just fun, gives you something to do while games are downloading in the background, but it shows off some of the new graphics capabilities of the console with the ray tracing, all the new lighting effects and shadows and whatnot, as well as the controller. This controller is awesome. It has all of the different new rumble features that are very akin to the Nintendo Switch's HD rumble. They give you just a feeling everything you do has a different feel to it as you're moving around with this character. And then the triggers, those adaptive triggers, I was excited to try them out because I didn't really understand what they meant until I got to use it. If you're pushing like a switch or pulling a trigger, or they can have multiple stopping points or multiple points where it gets more tension and then it snaps through and it's like that clean click like you'd get when you're going through a switch, or you can get more tension as you're pulling back a bow. And it's hard to really get a feel for it unless you try it yourself, so I'm really hoping a ton of people get to try this out. The gyro control on the controller, also great like the previous one. Touchpad feels like it's been a little bit improved. This is just an all-around awesome little piece of tech. With all of that said, I really do love the Xbox controller still too. And we talked about the PS5 controller, so let me just give my brief take on that. And I think they went with kind of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach. This is a good thing. They made things feel a little bit more crisp and clean. If you really like the clickiness, it's a clicky controller and it feels very precise. Feels a little bit smaller, but it's super comfortable still. I'm happy they really didn't change much. It's a good controller. Lastly, just for this first impressions video, I just wanted to get into a little bit of the gameplay I tried right off the bat. I went with Spider-Man, the remastered one, not Miles Morales, because I wanted to see a jump from previous gen to this generation. And then on the Xbox side of things, I went with Forza Horizon 4. Both of these games I've seen on the previous console, so I wanted to see if I could pick out some of the differences. And you definitely can, especially in the lighting, the reflections, the dynamic changes these things bring to the environment that make it just feel more realistic, pull you in, make the environment feel more alive, things like that. These games are both great showcases of that, and it gets me excited to see what some true next-gen games are going to look like when both consoles finally start getting those exclusives down the road. I know the PS5 has Demon Souls, and we'll check that out. This video, though, was just the first impressions. I just wanted to look at each of them quick, and I have to tell you guys, I'm super excited for both of these machines. I think this is finally a great generational jump in consoles. And hopefully that means that games will just get better across the board. Console, PC, I don't care where you're playing. It's a good thing when tech moves forward like this. Lastly, because I know I have a bunch of people who are probably interested, the TV behind me, the LG NANO85, 120 Hz, 4K, FreeSync, all that stuff. I've done some videos on it here on the channel. I'm gonna be going over this specifically in a part of my full review about these consoles here in a couple weeks and how they work with it. Spoiler, it's 2 thumbs up. This thing, for the price, is hard to beat. So, look forward to that. Don't forget, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions. I'm always down there in the comments answering questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.